Hey, kids. I just finished chapter 6, and I actually went back to look at chapter 5. And I think the first part of this chapter is very adequate reading that you should know about. So I'm going to go back and add the first part of chapter 5 to the list of things that I recommend that you listen to. 就像刚刚一样，我们来看一看生字哈，或者是词汇，你会经常看到说 in and of itself， 就是以它自己而言。那么这个意思没有什么意思，就是一个东西的本身。比方说 the stock is nothing in and of itself， 一个股票本身，这个待会儿我来解释。但是你要知道，就是经常习惯要，因为这是非常常用的词。这个 chapter 事实上并没有太多的生字，如果有的话，我待会解释一下好了。vanquish 这个就一定要知道 ，vanquish 就是被打败了，就是被消灭了，彻底消灭。averse 避免的，比方说他是 risk averse。risk averse 的意思就是他是一个不喜欢风险的人。unglamorous 一点都不是花俏的啊，就是很不glamorous 嘛，你们都知道什么是 glamour， 对不对？我不记得好像还有什么字，我可能因为这个读的理论上不长，我会跟你们多解释一下，如果需要的话。对不起，我现在在读的是 How Buffett Does It。24 Simple Investing Strategies from the World's Greatest Value Investor by James Pardoe。 我大概已经读了3-4个 chapters 了吧。来 Chapter 5 Buy businesses, not stocks. Once you get into the right business, you can let everyone else worry about the stock market. According to Warren Buffett, one critical factor in successful investing is to remember that you are buying part of an actual business. The stock is nothing in and of itself. Instead, it's a representation of a real enterprise. When you think about your portfolio, what should come to mind is not Bloomberg, tickers, or tables of small type in the Wall Street Journal. What should come to mind, says Buffett, is a business or a collection of businesses. Real enterprises engaged in the right businesses. In other words, it's not about playing the market. It's about buying businesses, the right businesses. In the long run, the right businesses almost can't help but prosper. But prosper. By the same token, the wrong business simply can't deliver the goods, short-term or long-term. The most important thing that you can do before buying a stock, then, is to think long and hard about the underlying business and its future, and view yourself not simply as an investor, but as a business analyst. Pay attention to the price, of course, but pay more attention to value. 这一段就是了解巴菲特或者专注投资的人一直会强调的哈。这就是为什么他说他是 value investor， 对不对？价值跟价钱，比方说我们去买一个东西，你们都知道，如果一个很好的法国面包100块一条，那么这个就是它。你如果觉得它值，那你就愿意付那个价，对不对？所以我们中文有时候很好玩，叫做价值。但是英文好像是分开的，对不对？ Price and value ought to be closely connected, of course, but in many cases, they get disconnected. Value grows out of what the business is doing. How well it is doing is compared to the competition. How well it is doing when compared to the competition. the scale on which it is doing it, and how those factors project into the future. The smart investor is the one who picks a valuable business based on these kinds of assessments. 根据类似这样子的评估，我们才会找到好的有价值的业务来投资。When it comes to investing, Buffett emphasizes it's all about the performance of the business behind the investment. What is the business doing, and how well is it doing it? In both a relative and absolute sense. Investing is never emotional. It is always what Buffett calls business-like. Business performance is the key to picking stocks. Study the long-term track record of any company that is on your buy list. Track record 就是过去的实际的记录哈，过去的实战经验，你可以查得到的过去的实际的情况叫做 track record. In 1985, Buffett analyzed the largest U.S. textile company and its business results from 64 to 85. Its stock had sold at $60 per share in 1964. 20 years later, the share price had barely budged. 根本就没动。Despite heavy expenditures, 很重大的投资跟花费, the business has struggled more or less consistently. Wrong business, Buffett concluded. Buy and hold can't work if you go into the wrong business in the first place. A look back at all the vanished and vanquished.com companies proves the importance of Buffett's business analysis. During those heady days, people were buying all kinds of high-tech stocks whose prices were going up exponentially, but they were ignoring the value of the underlying business and its long-term prospects. Investors were buying stocks based on the action of the stock rather than the quality of the business that the stock represented. Companies such as Global Crossing and eToys.com were selling for more than $80 a share. Today, they are worthless. Buffett did not buy one internet stock because, as he saw it, these were not predictable, profitable businesses with strong balance sheets and cash flows. His business analysis told him not to go near these types of companies with a 10-foot pole. 这个也是英文经常会看到的一个用法哈，你根本不要碰一个东西，即使是一根用3公尺长的棍子，你都不要去触碰一个有问题的东西。How does Buffett determine which businesses to buy? He looks for 4 main things. Businesses he can understand. 2. Companies with favorable long-term prospects. 很好的前景 prospects. 很长时间的前景。Businesses operated by honest and competent people. Competent, 有能力的。Businesses priced very attractively. 就是说，公司的价值股价还是很有吸引力的，根据未来的前景。这个就是金融的专业，你会去估一个公司的值，根据它的业务的成长，根据它的资产，你就会估算一个公司有多少价值，然后看看有多少股，你就可以算出来一个公司的股价，对不对？那么你就可以合理的评估它的价值，还有它的价钱，还有它的股价。A conservative football coach once explained his dislike for the passing game by saying that when a football is passed, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Buffett has the same aversion when it comes to businesses he does not understand. His business approach is safe, conservative, and unglamorous, but very effective. Buffett likes easy-to-understand businesses because he knows that their future is more certain and their cash flows are easy to predict. Companies such as See's Candies, the Nebraska Furniture Mart, and Coca-Cola are some of his favorites because they are stable companies with predictable cash flows and earnings that likely will be doing the same thing 50 years from now. If you can't make these kinds of predictions with confidence, says Buffett, you are speculating rather than investing. 你就是在投机，而不是投资。我们中文也经常讲投机跟投资，就是这两个字。Sure, investing involves uncertainty. The goal is to eliminate as much uncertainty as possible, in part by going into businesses that are reasonably easy to decode. 解读解码。Candy and Coke lend themselves to a kind of analysis that, say, broadband capacity does not. 他就举例说 Internet, broadband, 宽频网络可能不太容易分析。我们要记得哈，这本书写的时候好像就是2007年还08年，那个时候 The dot-com bubble 刚刚才破掉，2005年。那 Buffett 那个时候的确是没有买任何高科技股，当然我们现在是2021年了。那么 Buffett 后来也投资了什么 Apple 啊，他后来有买一些高科技，他后来也承认有一些高科技股在新的时代的确是有他们的吸引力，不过那个是另外一个故事。OK， 我们下一次我可能还会读这一本书，至少是2个 chapters，9 and I forget what it was， 但是至少还有2个 videos 吧。OK，later。